Hello and welcome to What's in this week's Oban Times with me, Fiona Scott.
Me, Kathy Griffith.
Me, Alice Butcher.
And joining us as usual from the 14th floor of the Oban Times building is IT guru Stephen Day. Good morning, Stevie.
Good morning. Are you giving me a new name?
I'm getting my gurus and my days and gays mixed up. Good morning, anyways. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
Good. As usual, we're going to be having a look at what's going to be in this week's paper. So to kick off, I've been talking to a group of mums from the Oban area who were kind enough to share with us some of their homeschooling experiences, which was very interesting. Everybody's experiencing highs and lows of trying to teach their youngsters in their own houses. With varying results, but they're all doing an absolutely wonderful job. And we've spoke to Councillor Yvonne McNeely, who is the Council's policy lead for education, and she's gave out some really sound advice for parents who are struggling. And she's basically saying, look, don't stress over it. Whatever you do, don't stress over it. If you're teaching your kid to ride a bike, that's fine. They're learning life skills. Just enjoy it. Enjoy having the time together. So, but have a look at that because there's some really good stories, and it just lets you know that you're all in the same boat and you're doing a great job. I've also been doing the sports pages this week, and I've been having a lovely chat with Mull's Kieran White, who's playing semi-pro rugby down in the Borders, down in my old stomping grounds, is at Melrose. But he's currently on lockdown, so he's with his family on Mull, and he's just been chatting about his going up to the semi-pro level in the sport and working his way up, and hopefully it's already had some age group games for Glasgow Warriors. You never know, we might be seeing another Magnus Bradbury in the future, so have a look at that and read what Kieran's all saying. Kathy, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been talking to a chap called Jessie Scott this week from Oban, a rather heart-wrenching and heartbreaking tale. Many people in our community will know and remember the lovely Jessie Scott, who sadly passed away from COVID a few weeks ago. Jessie was 84 years young, a remarkable lady who gave a lot of her time and a lot of her love to the town. Now, James, bless him, he's 63. He's one of her sons. She's got another son out in Australia. But James also got COVID, and he spent 38 days in hospital, a lot of that time actually, after just one night at Oban Hospital. They took great care of him there, and then he went off to Glasgow, and he was in hospital for 38 days altogether. For nearly 3 weeks of those, he was completely out of it, 2 and a bit weeks in an induced coma, and then another week where he really wasn't sort of, with it at all. And sadly, by the time he was well enough to video link and have a word with his family at home, he had to be told the news that his mum had passed away, and she was actually buried 2 days before he was able to speak to his family. So absolutely, heartbreaking there. But he's said life would be so much better and he'd be so much luckier if his mum was still here. The doctors had told him he was actually lucky to survive because he'd had it so bad and been on a ventilator for so long. But nothing can replace having your mum. So we've had some lovely tributes to Jessie from people who've known her and worked with her. And Oban Community Council have donated £1,000 in her memory to the gorgeous people at Hope, who are working really, really hard, getting out loads of food boxes to people all over, from Oban out over to Mull, Dalmally, Barcaldine. So, part of that, let's all just say thank you to Jessie. You've been quite a character, and it's been great to have known you. Still, Loch Melford, let's move on there a little bit, still following the COVID theme. We've heard a lot about people being stuck abroad, trying to get back home here. Well, we're sort of turning the tables, really. We've got some staff from Spain and the Czech Republic who couldn't get home. They've been working at the Loch Melford Hotel. They couldn't get home when lockdown happened. So their bosses, Callum and Rachel at the hotel, have actually put them up in some of the best guest rooms. And they've got the run of the hotel. In return for that, they're helping look after the different kind of residents, rather hairy residents, the Highland cattle and the goats who live at the hotel. So that was quite a nice little tale. I've also been speaking to Alison Rennie, who's one of the main fundraisers for the RNLI, for our lifeboat in Oban. And she's actually going to climb Everest.
Whoa.
Yeah, now she's 70. She's a chronic asthmatic. She's not actually going to really climb Everest, but she's setting off every day up to Battleship Hill above Oban as her daily exercise, and she's out to raise as much money as she possibly can for the lifeboat station, because even though people are sort of staying off the water and they're not sort of going out, as much as as they might be expected to at this time of year, they still need the money to keep all the maintenance going and be prepared. So she's doing really well. So she's got a Just Giving page if people want to go and look at that and support Alison. It's been great. So that's what I've been doing. What about you, Ellis?
Well, this week I've been looking at Victory in Europe Day, which of course is the 75th anniversary of when the Second World War came to an end. And I've done two things, and there are two really interesting pieces in the Oban Times this week. One concerns a special and very evocative film that's been made that kind of brings the Slate Islands of Easdale, Sale and Lewing all together. And this has been done by a chap called Gary Hamilton, who runs GH Productions Argyll with Stuart Abercrombie. And what they've done is they've gone out to those three different places, respecting social distances. And what he's done is created a lovely 14-minute film, which is going to be a really special way to commemorate the 75th anniversary. I don't want to give too many details away about it. It's all in the Oban Times, and you'll be able to see the film live on YouTube as well. And in addition to that, with a strong emphasis on VE Day 75, I've also delved back into the archives of the Oban Times from this week, from 1945. And what an absolute pleasure it's been reading how this the county newspaper of Argyll covered victory in Europe, the fact that the Hitler had been defeated, and it's been an absolute privilege this week to go into the archives and look at the paper from 1945, this week in 1945. And what really impressed me is how comprehensively the newspaper covered the Second World War. On pretty much every page, there's references to people that have received medals, that have been killed, that have been wounded, that have come home on leave. There's a day-by-day diary of what's been happening internationally in the war. And also, as we start to gear up for the VE Day celebrations itself, you get this real sense of this 6-year-long struggle being over, and the community all coming together, to celebrate. And it was really quite touching, sort of going back 75 years and reading in such detail about how this conflict had kind of cost so many lives, but also the joy that people were feeling as the war was over. So it's a very, very special edition of the Oban Times this week, and it's definitely a story to look out for.
Can I just jump in there and just say, while we're on the VE Day theme, Neil Smith, who's 84 from Balvicar, he's done a little video as well, and it's him giving his own rendition of Vera Lynn's We'll Meet Again. So it's just really, really lovely. He's got a great voice, Neil. He's a great character. He's a member of the Easdale Royal British Legion branch. So I think we're going to put that little video up on, it'll definitely be up on Friday on our website. So make sure you go on there and listen to Neil. So Seal's version of Captain Tom. There we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things going on, and if anybody else is doing anything to mark VE Day, whether it be online or just sharing it on Facebook, please send us whatever you have in. If you've got photographs or you just want to say something, you can get in touch with us, and we'll put some more VE Day items in next week's paper. So here at the Oban Times, we're always happy to hear from you. So stay in touch, tell us your stories, and share those photos. You can contact us by calling 01631 568 or by emailing editor@obantimes.co.uk or message us on Facebook. During the COVID crisis, you can read all our stories for free online or pick up a copy of the OT from supermarkets, newsagents and petrol stations. To get the page-turning digital edition of the Oban Times, subscribe now and get 3 months for the discounted price of just £4.80. That's all we have for this week. Hope we've given you some ideas of what's coming up in the paper this week, but most importantly, stay safe, stay home and protect the NHS. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.